6:45. This is the Sri Lanka Broadcasting Corporation. Here is the news edited by Lal Mallavarachi and read by J. Yogaraj. First, the headlines. The appropriation draft bill for the next 4 months will be presented to Parliament today. Government is to appoint a development committee to find solutions for the economic crisis. A discussion took place between Election Commission and representatives of all political parties. Litro gas prices reduced. News overseas, Ukraine says Russia uses Zaporizhzhia nuclear power plant as army base. In sports, Sri Lanka is at the 31st place at the Commonwealth Games medal table. And those are the headlines. The appropriation draft bill for the next 4 months will be presented to Parliament today. The government sources say that Prime Minister Dinesh Gunawardena will present it to the Parliament on behalf of the Finance Minister and President Ranil Wickremesinghe. The government presented the budget for this year last November, but the government has decided to present another appropriation bill due to the present political and economic situation in the country. The government is to appoint a development committee to find solutions for the economic issues, planning suitable economic policies to solve the current economic downturn is the main purpose of this committee. It is to mediate to draw foreign exchange in legal manner as much as possible. The chairman of the development committee will be given powers similar to a cabinet minister. The Election Commission says it is ready to hold discussions with the political parties regarding the changes of the electoral system suggested by the Parliament's Special Working Committee. Accordingly, a discussion took place yesterday, with the representatives of the political parties. Measures will be taken to make those suggestions agreed upon by the political party representatives as law. The Election Commission hopes to meet the political party members who do not represent the Parliament at present in future date. This news comes to you from Sri Lanka Broadcasting Corporation.
Scan the Lanka QR code and make your payments with People's Pay mobile payment app from People's Bank.
Litro Gas Lanka Limited announced the price of domestic gas will be reduced from today. Litro said the decision was taken considering the price reduction in the world market. Hence, the new selling price of a 12.5 kilogram domestic gas cylinder is 4,664 rupees, a reduction of 246 rupees. The new price of a 5 kilogram gas cylinder is 1,872 rupees, a price reduction of 99 rupees. The new price of 2.3 kilogram gas cylinder is 859 rupees, a price reduction of 45 rupees. The new prices will take effect from midnight today. And that's local news.
Nobody tells time like this. So why do you still pay with cash when you have People's Pay mobile app from People's Bank? Scan the Lanka QR code and make your payments with People's Pay mobile payment app from People's Bank.
The main news story is brought to you by Siddhalepa Vedamahatmya.
World Indigenous Peoples Day falls today. The United Nations has declared 9th of August as the Indigenous Peoples Day in order to preserve the culture and traditions of these indigenous people living in many countries, including Sri Lanka. To mark the day, a special function has been arranged in Kotabagniya village in Dambana today, headed by the leader of the Adivasi people, Manila Atto. And that's top news.
The main news story was brought to you by Siddhalepa Vedamahatmya.
Watch Life is brought to you by
A Strength to Your Life. CIB Janajaya Vasana has commenced. Valuable gifts and all bills are on 31st of October. Come to CIB today.
The Power and Energy Ministry has made plans to dispense a fuel for vehicles engaged in public transportation and taxi services as per the QR code. The ministry said the plans were underway to identify the volume of fuel required for Sri Lanka transport buses, private transport buses and taxi services by assigning a separate QR code. And this was decided at a meeting attended by Transport, Highways and Mass Media Minister Dr. Bandula Gunawardena and Power and Energy Minister Kanchan Vijayasekara and officials of the two ministries. And that was watched live.
A strength to your life. CIB Janajaya Vasana has commenced. Valuable gifts and all bills are on 31st of October. Come to CIB today.
Moving on to world news headlines. Ukraine says Russia uses Zaporizhzhia nuclear power plant as army base. A report says a British police strip search over 600 kids, mostly black boys. The US Senate passes a sweeping climate tax and healthcare package. And those are the headlines. Russian forces occupying the Zaporizhzhia nuclear power plant have turned the site into a military base to launch attacks against the Ukrainian positions, the head of the Ukraine's nuclear power company says. Petro Kotin told the BBC the threat to the plant was great, but that it remained safe. For days, Ukraine and Russia have blamed each other for attacks on the site, Europe's largest nuclear plant, raising concerns of a major accident. A report reveals that Britain's largest police force, the Metropolitan Police, strip-searched 650 children, mostly black boys, between 2018 and 2020. Of the 650 minors aged 10 to 17 years searched by the Met officers, 95% were boys and 58% of the boys were black, according to the research published by the Rachel D. Souza, the Children's Commissioner for England. In 23% of the cases, there was not an appropriate adult present, the report said. The US Senate has approved a sweeping $700 billion economic package that includes major legislation on healthcare, tax and climate changes. The bill seeks to lower the cost of some medicines, increase corporate taxes and reduce carbon emissions. The passing of the bill, a flagship part of the President Joe Biden's agenda, is a boost ahead of the midterm election. And that's world news. Moving on to development news, President Ranil Wickremesinghe says, with the support of the state, he would like to propose the Colombo Fort floating market and several other places to support the needs of the youth, and requested the protesters to prepare a formal proposal with the intervention of the majority of the strugglers and submit to him. The President mentioned this when he met with a group of golfist protesters recently. The President said in that process it should be made into a center where libraries for education, facilities for political studies, music, art, theatre and other youth skills and needs to be fulfilled. And that was development news.
Sports news is brought to you by
Sampath Bank. We present your future.
Sri Lanka finished their campaign of Commonwealth Games 2022 in Birmingham with 1 silver and 3 bronze medals. Yupun Abekun won the bronze medal in men's 100 metres, while para-athlete Palita Mandar secured a silver medal in men's discus throw, making them the first ever Sri Lankan medal winners in their respective events at the Commonwealth Games. And that was sports news.
Cash through NSP globally and win wonderful gifts locally. From October 1st, 2021 to December 31st, 2022. Remit a minimum of $100 or an equivalent amount in any foreign currency 3 times through NSB U Trust.
Business News, sponsored by National Savings Bank, the safest place for your money.
Sri Lanka's bond markets were frozen Monday with a few maturities being offered at higher yields but no firm bids, dealers said in the wake of President Ranil Wickremesinghe's comments Friday over possible rupee-bound restructuring. The bond maturing on 1/6/2025 was offered around 28% Monday with no firm bids, up from 27.55 or 27.65% on Friday. And that was business news.
Business News, sponsored by
Cash through NSP globally and win wonderful gifts locally. Will you be the lucky winner of the NSP Golden Jubilee? 50 gold sovereigns for the top prize winner of the NSP Golden Jubilee, scooters for the 10 second prize winners, iPhones for the 10 third prize winners, mountain bikes for the 29 fourth prize winners. From October 1st, 2021 to December 31st, 2022. Remit a minimum of $100 or an equivalent amount in any foreign currency 3 times through NSBU Trust.
In economic news, Sri Lanka Poultry Forum Chairman Ajit Veerasinghe says the country's self-developed poultry and dairy industries are on the verge of collapse amid rising input costs and shortages of animal and veterinary medicines, along with the fuel shortage and rupee liquidity issues in the banking sector. He raised concerns of food security and malnutrition. And that was economic news. And finally, we have the weather report. The Met Department says several spells of light showers will occur in western and Sabrakamur provinces and in Galle, Matara, Kandy and Nuwara districts. A fairly strong winds, about 40 kilometers per hour, can be expected at times over the western slopes of the Central Hills, northern and north-central provinces and in Trincomalee district. And that was weather report. To wind up the news broadcast today, let's look at the main points once again. The appropriation draft bill for the next 4 months will be presented to Parliament today. The government is to appoint a development committee to find solutions for the economic issues. A discussion took place between the Election Commission and representatives of all political parties. Litre gas prices reduced. With that, we conclude this morning news podcast of Sri Lanka Broadcasting Corporation.